Hey guys, it's Monica, your local independent agency consultant. I wanted to finish my video journal. I was cut off from number 4. My phone ran out of memory. I guess it just cut me off when I was middle of telling a story. But I am Monica. I am here in New Mexico. Today is March the 30th. Yeah, today's Sunday. It is around 5:30. I am in the middle of eating dinner. Let me show you what I got some ground beef enchiladas with green chili sauce and Spanish rice that I made. And I have a little bit of Mountain Dew. Sorry, I don't want to show you my chest. I was just trying to show you my food. Anyways, this is video journal number 5. I try to do these while my husband is away doing other stuff because he's loud and he makes the dogs bark, so I don't want them barking. I'm trying to be as not quiet, but to get all my things done. So let's get started. I was finishing up a story. I was telling you I was in middle school, and when we were in middle school, we would walk from school to the local shopping center, and we always went into either the drugstore and got candy and sodas, or we would go to the there was a barbecue joint, a restaurant, and was a barbecue joint, and we would get like French fries. I always get French fries because I love the saltiness. And yeah, that was my 3 years in middle school. That's when I started my love for reading. That's when I started noticing boys. I would walk home, and then in the 10th grade, 10th, 11th, and 12th, I went to Carson High School, which was in Carson, California. I went there for 3 years till I graduated. And there, at the time, I think I was 15 or 16. My brother had joined a gang. So that's mostly what I remember because people weren't really scared of him or anybody. They were all our friends, but they would tell me, "Oh, so and so is looking for you." Like one of the boys would be looking for me because they couldn't find me, and we all went home at the same time. And I remember one time I was like 10 minutes late. We were supposed to go home. I think my brother was driving, and I don't know how, maybe like 5 of us in the car, and they were looking for me. They couldn't find me, and when they found me, that's my dog Blanca. She's trying to get into the photo. They had came with the gun. They thought something had happened to me, and so we went, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm just running late, getting my. I think I was getting my homework or something." And so they came with a gun. So I don't really like guns like in my face or anything like that. It gets me nervous. So we don't have guns here in our house. Me and my husband don't believe in having them in the house. But anyways, that's mostly what I remember in high school was just having all the like gang members around, the boys and the girls, and they would always come to our house. And in the summer, after around my parents would go to work around 9, so they would be there all day, and we would hang out, watch TV. I mean, I never smoked or drank or did nothing like that. They were, not me. I never did nothing like that. Um, I didn't date in high school till I was out of high school. I think I was 19. I had, um, after I graduated high school, my mom gave me a choice. She said I could either go to college, there was a university there, or the local community college, or I could get a job. And I didn't want to go back to school at that time. So I got a job at a video store. This was in 1989, I think, 1988, something like that. And so I got a job at a video store. I stayed there for 15 years. Yeah, 15 years. And I loved it. I worked 7 days a week. I worked from I think 9 in the morning or 10 o'clock. I would leave my house. I would walk because it was close by, and then I would get out at 9 p.m. and I worked 7 days a week. I never had any vacation because my boss owned two stores, one there and one in another city. So he was always at the other store, and I would run that store. Me and my coworker, I was like the manager, and so he would order the movies and the videos, and I would do everything else. And so I stayed there for 15 years. Um, we had got robbed 3 times. The first time I was there, and the people jumped over the counter. I'm still getting over a cold. Sorry. Excuse me. Yesterday it was windy and dusty, so it just goes up my nose. And I hate it. 'Cause if I don't take an allergy pill, this is how I am. But I didn't take my pill today because I didn't feel like it because we stayed home today. Today's my day off. So, anyways, continuing with the story, the robbers jumped the counter. I think that's when they hit my boss in the head with the gun. They headbutted him. They didn't do nothing to me. They opened the register, took the money. It wasn't that much, like maybe $100. So that was the first time I got robbed. The second time, they came in with shotguns, and again they jumped the counter. They hit my boss in the head again. I don't know why they just go for the men, and they had us uh like sit down and cover our faces and don't look at them. And they had the shotgun pointed to me, and they told my boss to get all the money or else they would shoot me. Thank God nothing happened. But yeah, of course, I was terrified. Like I said, I don't like guns, especially when they're pointing at me. And the third time, um, I was, at that time, I was dating the security guard who, no, I was, I wasn't dating him at that time, but we had security that walked around. Hold on, my dogs are barking. Okay, sorry about that. They're done barking. They were howling. We have 7 dogs. Four are in the living room and they howl. Okay, so continuing my story with the last time I got robbed at gunpoint. It was me by myself. My boss was somewhere and they came, uh and then they made me like turn around, and I think they had a handgun pointing at me, and then they got all the money. And I ended up calling the we had two security guard, one armed security guard, and one was one that walked around. So I always call him the toy cop. He never carried a gun. So I called him, let him know, and I called the police, let him know what happened. Dang it. All this dust in my nose. God, excuse me. I hate coughing. It drives me crazy. Anyways, I end up calling the armed security, and oh God, my ear, now my ears itching. And from that day, the armed security, I knew that he liked me, and my friend who was the toy cop, the other security guard, told me that, and so from that day we started talking, and we ended up being boyfriend and girlfriend for a year and a half from that. After that, I quit. I think the next year because I was worried about. I mean that had been 3 times that had been um at, robbed at gunpoint, and I was like, is there going to be a fourth time? I didn't have. Hold on again, these damn dogs. I think they're done. At the time, my youngest sister had just got engaged, and she was going to be married in the next following year. So I told myself I wanted to be there for her wedding. So I ended up quitting my job I was there for 15 years in the video store. Um, Next door to the video store was a dry cleaners, and the lady always came by and kept asking me if I knew anybody that was looking for a job because she was looking for a help. I think she was looking for on the weekends. So I ended up applying there, and I ended up getting the job as a cashier, bagging the clothes. It was the dry cleaners. Um, I was there for 5 years. Um, I never wanted to leave, but I had to leave because my that's when my dad had passed away. So I had to leave, and then that's when I moved to Colorado after that. And then when I was at in Colorado, I we had sold our house, so I had a little bit of money to play with, and we had moved to Colorado with nothing, just on a plane ticket with I think two suitcases, and that's all I had. That lasted about 6 months, and then I applied everywhere in Colorado. I was living in Fort Collins at the time, and I ended up getting a job in Kmart, and I stayed there for 2 years. I was a cashier there. And they had me in the pharmacy, the garden center, which I love being there. But I had to leave to go take care of my mom, and while I was taking care of my mom in Texas, I was like her unofficial caregiver. I didn't get paid or nothing, but I was on unemployment for about 2 years. And then I met my husband and I came here to New Mexico. And right away, I tried to be a cashier everywhere. But they told me at that time, I was already in my 40s, that they were only looking to hire young people 19 and up because they can pay them minimum wage. And so it took me about 7 years to get a job here. And I finally did. My sister-in-law and most of my husband's family were in were caregivers, and so she told me that there was a uh, she was working for a client, and the family was looking um, for somebody Saturday and Sundays, and I told her I can do it, and so it was 8 hours Saturday and 8 hours Sunday, and that's how I ended up getting a job as a caregiver. That was 6 years ago. That client ended up passing away, and I have another client now that I've been with for 5 years. Right now we're on a break because she's going through some stuff, personal stuff. So I'm on a break from her. I have to go tomorrow, go to my agency and see if they can find me something temporarily while she deals with that stuff. So that is my employment history, I guess. I didn't know I was going to go through that, but okay, here we are. After high school, I went to community college for 2 years, and I was taking real estate classes. I was taking sociology. I was taking anthropology. I was taking painting, but I didn't do good. I'm not a creative person, but I did like sociology and anthropology. I was studying to be a substitute teacher, but my that's when my brother ended up going to jail. And so I had to stop school and go help raise up my 2-year-old nephew. So I never did finish. And so that was the end of my schooling. And then after that, we helped raise my nephew from the time he was, well, the time he was a baby to now he's like 30, going to be 36, and he's a father of a 4 year old. She's 4 year old. And he's, married now and all that. They're in California. So they've been doing good. I never had children of my own. We are at 14 minutes. So let's see. So my first boyfriend, I was 19. He was 17, a week away from turning 18. That lasted 7 months. My cousin had caught him cheating on me with another woman and called me and told me, and I told him what she said, and he said, it was his brother. His brother was like 6'1". He was like 5'8". It couldn't be his brother. He was lying. So I ended up breaking up with him. I had just a lot of friends that didn't want to be my boyfriend. They just wanted to be friends, and so I wanted like a boyfriend and all that. But I always told them because they would always tell me, "Hey, let's do this. Let's have a baby." Blah blah blah. And I told them, well, if we could last a year together without breaking up, I would think about it. Obviously, if I never have kids, that never happened. The next boyfriend after that was the serious one. Was the security guard that I was telling you about that had a crush on me, and he was the armed security guard, and so he had a crush on me because my best friend, who was the toy cop, the other one without a gun, would tell me he was trying to set us up. And so whenever I would go into the big store, the armed security guard who became end up becoming my boyfriend was there, and he would have like a soda there. He knew that I like Pepsis. He knew that I like Mountain Dews, and so he would have a soda there. He would try to say hi to me, but I would ignore him. It was after the robbery, the third and last one, yeah, and that I ended up going out with him, and we were together for about a year and a half. Um, Towards the end, I found out that he was married. He told me that he was divorced with two kids, and he wasn't divorced. He told me he had the papers and everything, so he was a damn ass liar. And I found out he was married after a year and a half because I didn't know. I never went to his house. We just always met at my house, or we would always go out on dates. But anyways, he ended up leaving that job and being a roving security guard, armed security. So he would go to different parts of the state. And after that, when I found out he was still married, because he was a dang liar, I stopped seeing him. And that was hard because I was serious about him. It was a year and a half. And I thought we were going to, go further than boyfriend and girlfriend, but we never did. After that, I didn't want to date nobody. I was just mad and hurt. So, my dad died in January, so I think July before my dad passed away, like 6 months before I started dating this guy. Now he was a divorced man, a former customer. I know he was divorced because I had knew the wife, and when they got divorced, and like I said, he was a customer of mine. He had been a customer from the video store and then into the dry cleaners, so I knew him, and he had always liked me. After he had been divorced maybe like 3 years, and he would ask me out on dates, and I kept saying no. Just I was just like no, I was still hurt, and so I was just like I don't want to deal with another man who says he's divorced, blah blah blah. So my friend was just like, just say yes, just you never know. And so yeah, we ended up going out for like 6 months, and he was a very nice man, but I just couldn't see it going any further. um, and then my dad passed away, so I went to Colorado, and I didn't date anybody there. I went out. Well, I went on a bunch of dates, but I didn't have nobody serious. And then I went to Texas, and in Texas I met one guy. I think I dated her for like 2 months. Hold on a second, my finger's hurting. Ooh, my fingers, because I'm holding the phone, so my fingers hurting. But so I was dating him, but it was a lot of racial tension because he was a black man and I'm obviously a Hispanic woman. And I don't know what it is about Texas. They don't like black and brown together. In California, they're best friends. They're always together. I just couldn't deal with it. It was too much for me. And I, I I knew that I wanted something serious. Eventually, I wanted to have a husband. I didn't want a boyfriend all my life. So he didn't want to be serious. So we broke up. And then I met my next ex. That one was another one that lasted a year and a half. That one, I did think that I was pregnant because my period didn't come. This is too much information, sorry. Anyways, I wasn't pregnant, but by the time that happened, it was like a month before my birthday. I found out that he had another girlfriend. These men, I swear. And so he was trying to keep it hidden. And then I don't know how she found out. She found out and ended up calling me. And so he was like, "No, she's my ex girlfriend," and blah, blah, blah. And at first, I believed him, but then I was like, well, if she's the ex, why is she calling to find out about me? So then I end up calling her, and we got to talking, and she wanted to meet in person. I told her no because I don't know her. I didn't trust her, and so we would just end up talking and having conversations, and we were comparing notes. Hey, what was he with you this day? Yeah, was he with you this day? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I ended up breaking up with him, and then she ended up breaking up with him. And then after that, she said, "I wish that she could do what he did to her and cheat on him." And I said, "Well, I have a lot of friends, male friends." And so she ended up meeting one of my guy friends, and they were together for like 6 months. And yeah, she left our mutual ex boyfriend and got another guy, and she got engaged. But this guy, another asshole, cheated on her. My God, I swear these men. And so we did end up being friends. I never did meet her in person. Um, Last I know, she went back to her ex boyfriend and she's still with him. I don't know. But they don't have no kids or nothing. She has a son. Um, After that, um, I was online dating and I had met two guys, one in Corpus Christi, Texas, and one in here in New Mexico. So I had asked them both if I was to go to the one in Corpus Christi, what would my life be like? And he said he was a mechanic, so he worked 7 days a week. All I had to do was be there when he got out of work, make him food, and then be his lover. And I wouldn't have to work because he would make a lot of money, and this and that. But then I would be at home by myself unless I was working because he didn't have no kids, no dogs, nothing. So it would be just a lot of alone time. And so I asked the one in New Mexico the same question, and he was like, he was on disability, and he said we would be together all the time. So I ended up going with the one in New Mexico, and that's my husband. And so I think this is where we'll end because that is the end of my school, I guess, jobs, love life, and stop coughing. And we are 23 minutes, so that's pretty good for a video journal. So, again, this is Monica, your local independent Sensi consultant. I'll probably be having the empties in the next couple of days, the first of the month. I am in New Mexico. My YouTube is Spanish Hello. My website is micwax.sensi.us. Thanks for watching. Bye.